everyone. This is Jen.
And this is Karyl. We're just two best friends sharing our personal lives to hopefully make you laugh and smile.
That's right, like this. Cheese.
Bam.
Let's do this.
So today is basically going to be Jennifer's podcast. She's going to lead this podcast, and I want to be her guest and vice versa.
Yes, you are my guest. I hope you can take it. My interviewing skills will be put to the test. But I just wanted to start with just reminding everyone that we are obviously two best friends, and I'm actually in Michigan, and Karyl is in the wonderful state of
Kentucky.
Yes, so
Horse
we are
capital
in
of
two
the
different
world.
Oh, is it? Yes, the Derby's there. Yeah, true.
That's what they call it. I think there's different places that claim to be the horse capital of the world. So I don't know. I think we're one of them who claim it.
So we are actually, one of the things that bound us together as friends and what we made a connection with was the fact that we both have had success with weight loss in our lives. And that was one of the common things that we stumbled upon when we met, when we became flight attendants a few years ago. And so that's the topic that we want to tackle today. And we are going to start with Karyl's journey. And so, Karyl, I wanted to start with you just telling the audience a little bit about yourself, beginning with where you're originally from and where you live now, even if it's in the same state, just like what part of the state or whatever. Yeah, let us know who you are.
All right. Well, I grew up in Pikeville, Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky, and married my high school sweetheart there. And we moved from there to North Carolina. We were there for a few years while he was in the military. And then after
Shout out
that,
to Jeremy. Sorry.
Jeremy, woo woo. And then once he got out of the military, he got a job in North Carolina, and we kind of stuck around for a little bit. And then he got another job offer here in Lexington, Kentucky. And of course, we snatched that up because we had a daughter and a son by then too. And we wanted them to be closer to their grandparents because despite the distance, our kids had always had a very close relationship with their grandparents. Like my in-laws would travel for one weekend, travel 8 to 10 hours on a Friday, see us on Saturday, and then leave Sunday to go back to Kentucky and then go back to work Monday. I mean, they really, really worked really hard to keep a connection with my kids. Well, I guess when we moved to Kentucky, Andrew was just an infant, but still Penny never lost that closeness with them. So now we're in Lexington and we love it. So it's just a perfect size city, I think. Little country, little bit city.
How long have you been in Lexington? Just all that since that time?
Oh
since you came
my
back
God.
It's been a long time,
in Lexington for going on 23 years. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a long time.
Yeah, about 23 years.
Your family is like really important to you guys.
Yeah,
family.
Exactly.
That's
and almost everybody
for you.
And everybody basically migrated from Eastern Kentucky to Central, except for my mother, and I have a brother and sister that still live there. But everybody else has basically moved here. So we're all pretty close.
That's great. That's really great. So let's jump right into our topic, weight loss.
All right. Okay.
Tell us, because a lot of people struggle with this. A lot of people struggle with their weight. And how long has it been that you struggled with your weight? And just give us a little history of how this journey how it started and how long it's been a struggle for you.
Yeah, I'll have to post some photos before my weight gain and then during and then after. But I was always pretty athletic, until after I guess until after I had my son is when I really started gaining weight. And honestly, I started gaining weight once we moved to Kentucky, not when I was in North Carolina. Maybe a few pounds in North Carolina, but in Kentucky, we were close to family and friends. So everybody always wanted to go out to eat. Me and Jeremy never, ever ate out when we were in North Carolina. For one, we were so broke. We had no money to even go to McDonald's. So And when we would drive to Kentucky all the time to visit family and friends, it's very rare we ever stop and ate on the journey. So we moved to Kentucky. Jeremy's making more money. Everybody wants to go out to eat all the time. It was different. And before I knew it, within that year, this was like 2001, I ballooned up. I know I had probably gained, I bet 100 pounds the first year and didn't
In a
really see
year?
it. It's so
No.
fast. It was so
That
fast.
fast?
Yeah, I have to post pictures of myself after I had Andrew. I had barely gained any, but it was after we moved back. It was just so fast. It was so fast. Yeah.
So you can't even blame it on the baby weight. It wasn't even that.
Oh,
It was after the fact.
no. No, it was my eating habits,
That's
and I
wow.
was not really educated or informed enough about nutrition. So I never looked at serving sizes or calories
Mhm.
or fat grams or anything. I was just eating, because I never had to really pay attention to it before. And you should, even when you're small, you should pay attention to what you're eating. I don't care what size you are, you know. But I just
Right.
never. I don't. They probably taught us in school. I don't quite remember. Maybe in PE they taught us about nutrition, but it doesn't really stick. And like I said, I never had a weight problem before. Nobody in my family really had a weight problem. So it just kind of, just happened.
Yeah.
And it was out of control before I knew it.
So I know you said the weight it came on pretty quickly.
Oh,
So
yeah.
why did you want to lose weight? I mean, is it because you just gained so much in that short period of time, or had it always been something that you were working on? Was it societal pressure, or were you concerned with your health, or like why did you decide, okay, I need to lose weight. I got to do something about this.
Well, definitely it had an effect on my psyche for sure. Uh, I
Mm.
definitely think it contributed to me being depressed. Because, you go from being a small girl getting whistles and hoots and hollers all the time to being overweight, and you don't really get that anymore. And it's just, you're like, wow, is it just because of my weight? And maybe it was. But and then I started having some health problems. I developed type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and I was not feeling good. I was not feeling good. I mean, there was times where I thought maybe I was going to have a stroke. I was very concerned about my weight. And then I remember sitting at work and wearing a pair of pants and my button popped off. And I was like, I am not going up another size. And I may still have those pants. I might have to hunt them out. But I was like, I'm not doing this. And I had tried dieting before, different things. Atkins, when that was really big in, that didn't work because I always sneaking and eating carbs. Me and Jeremy would be like trying to do it together. And I'm like in the closet eating Cheetos or something. Like, I didn't eat any carbs today. And there's like cheese all around
Uh,
my mouth.
lies,
The
lies.
lies. No, it's awful. Um, but I was just like, I'm not going to go back up in the size. So, like I said, I tried Adkins. I tried Weight Watchers a couple of times, and I think I just wasn't ready then. I think I was doing it more to try to lose weight to kind of please others because I was getting like a lot of backhanded compliments. Like, for instance, I will not mention this family member's name, but she gave me a robe and she was like, Karyl, this will look really good on you. I think it will fit you because it was just way too big on me. And I'm just like, thank you.
Those
Thank you.
underhanded digs. I
Yeah.
hate it
But
when
it's,
family
and
members
then
do
people
that.
talking about me behind my back. Oh, I'm just concerned about her health, and that does not help. It does not make you want to
Right.
lose weight. It makes you crawl back into your feelings, It
Mhm.
doesn't help. It's not constructive.
Yeah.
So finally, when my button popped off my pants, it's like, I got to do something. And I'm starting to get scared. I'm going to have a stroke. I'm in my 20s. This is ridiculous. So I walked into Weight Watchers for the third time in September
Third
2011.
time's a charm.
Third
Third time's
time.
a charm.
And something was different about it this time. I was determined. From that day, I was like, I'm going to be a success at this. I'm going to get this weight off. I never had any doubt from that moment. I don't know what clicked. Maybe it was, fear because my health was terrible. I don't really know. I just knew I wanted to be around longer for my kids and be more active with them. And honestly, I wanted to make, Jeremy is always proud of me no matter what size I was, but I wanted to be like his beautiful wife, like I wanted him to be proud of me. And Jeremy's
Yeah.
never judged me on my size. The only time he's ever said anything, I was getting really mad because we were going to go to a family reunion and I couldn't find anything in my closet. And I think Jeremy just had it with me. Like every time we'd go somewhere, I just, he's like, Karyl, you either do something about it or shut the hell up. And he never cusses at me. And I was just like, wow, okay. He's right. I need
He
to
was
do
over
something
it.
about it. So yeah,
Yeah.
he was over it. He's like, stay how you are or not, And it's hard to lose
But
weight.
make a choice. Pick
Yeah.
one.
And then when you start thinking about the journey to lose weight, when you think about it could take weeks, months, years, it can start
Years.
intimidating you and then you fail. So I took a different approach. I took it day by day, one day at a time, focused one day at a time. And basically, Weight Watchers, all it really did, it taught me how to look at nutrition and watch portion sizes. That's basically what it is. Watch your portions, look at what you're eating, look at the nutrition facts. It's just all it did was just re-educate me. So
It's kind of like, everyone kind of knows the right things to do, but it's
yeah,
like actually putting them into practice and giving yourself that self-discipline to do those things because we all know what not to eat. We know
right,
what a better choice of food is, but it's
right.
like actually doing that. So and getting
Right.
that changing
You
those
don't
behaviors.
right, and I had to, like, stick to it hard. I had to stick to the plan really hard. I needed to eat healthy, get that weight off, and I knew once I could get the weight off, every now and then I can indulge, You don't
Yeah.
always have to eat the way you are when you're losing weight, but you gotta eat healthy to try to get that ball rolling.
Yeah. So
But
how much weight did you actually end up losing when you've lost like the most weight that you've ever lost? Like what is the total number of pounds that you've lost?
about 130. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, about
100 and
130
how long did it
pounds.
take for you to lose that much weight?
Okay, okay. Well, when I started in September of 2011, by that November, Thanksgiving, I lost 40 pounds from doing my Weight
Okay.
Watchers plan and exercise, 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 exercise. Because I wanted to try to firm as much as I could as I lost weight. I didn't want any loosey goosey skin. I was wanting to lose as fast but slowly enough to where I could firm. So
Yeah.
but it's easy to get those first few pounds off. So I think I probably hit at the 100-pound mark. It probably took over a year, about a year and 3 months. I think I remember getting a Christmas ornament in 2012 that says 100 pounds gone. And then I just had to,
Wow.
and then I ran a lot. So, but exercise is key, not just diet. Oh gosh, exercise, exercise, exercise. It's good for your mind, your body, your spirit.
So that was the key to your success.
Mm-hmm.
Not only your food, what you ate, what you put in, but also the
Yeah.
exertion of your
Yeah.
changing that heart rate, getting that heart rate up, running, getting outside, moving around,
And the way you
not just
feel
sitting
after
still.
working out, oh my
That's
God, those
good.
endorphins kick in and it is just addicting. Like I love how I feel after I work out. I don't want to work
That's
out, but
awesome.
once I do, I'm like, yes.
I think that's all of us. All of us.
Yeah, I think so.
Once we do it, it's like, oh, I'm so glad
Like,
I did that. And
oh,
it helps
thank
your
you,
mental health.
Jesus. Yeah,
Clears your
right.
mind.
Exactly, because that
Yeah.
time is your time. It's your therapy. Nobody else in the world exists except for you and what you're doing in that moment.
Now, speaking of like our therapy and just the mental health piece of it, of working out, this is what I want to ask you this. I know how I feel about it, but it's not about me today. I want to know, Karyl, like,
Okay.
okay, when you lost weight, remember that 130 pounds that you got off,
Oh
looking
yeah.
fly, feeling good? So, did it make you a happier person? Like, were you happier mental health wise
Oh,
because of the weight loss?
I was. I was. I really was. I was proud of myself. I had a great support system. I was really happy. I don't think I ever lost the weight and be like, okay, now what? I lost the weight, but I'm not feeling good. I just had a really good support system. So I actually was still happy, you know. I mean, other than like what real life throws at you, that can
Mhm.
complicate things up, you know. So as for my weight, I was still happy with my weight loss. There's other factors going on in my life that made me not so happy, but it had nothing to do with my weight. So
Mm. Okay. But life still happened
life
around the
still
weight loss, so you
happens.
still had to
Who
have
had
coping mechanisms for all the other things that came at you,
mm,
but so it didn't
yeah,
solve all your problems, but it did
no,
make you were happier, a little happier that you
yeah.
actually accomplished the goal.
Exactly. And I think some people probably think, oh, I think some of her personal problems started after she lost weight. No, I already had things going on before I lost weight, you know? And honestly, I didn't do a lot of self care. Honestly, I didn't. And
Mm.
so I had to go through a whole lot. And I don't know. It's just, uh, you know, you make mistakes, but you learn from them, hopefully. Hopefully, you learn from whatever mistakes you make. Learn from it. And I had a lot of loving people in my life who showed me a lot of grace. And I also had to learn
That's
how
good.
to forgive for some things. I was not a big forgiver. I would hold grudges forever. And I think that weighed on me.
Mm.
So, but yeah, it had nothing to do with the weight. Just life is how you handle life and, you know, so.
You said you had a good support system, like, but did you encounter any changes with how people treated you after you lost the 130
Oh,
pounds? Like,
yeah.
any negative reactions from
Even
people
before I
or
lost all that weight, when I got maybe halfway, my halfway point, people would say, "Oh, don't lose any more weight. You look good." I'm thinking, no, you don't know what I look like under these clothes. I know what I need to lose, and I know what my healthy weight goal is. I'm not trying to, you know, be 100 pounds, nothing like that. But yeah, I had a lot of
yeah.
people that would say those kind of things, and I don't know if they did it really believing what they were saying or if they were just like, you know, hating on me. Maybe not. I choose to think better of people. So, but it didn't matter. If I did truly have a lot of haters, and I probably did, I tuned them out. I was just, my mind was set. You know, I was totally
Okay.
focused.
And
So,
you said that you were like you were determined that you were going to make this work and you were going to be successful. So did you have like I know you said you had a support system, but did you have someone that you worked out with or did you just have to like literally
hmm.
encourage and motivate yourself to go work out? Like how did you get all this exercise in? Who helped you?
Well, first of all, when I did put my mind to losing weight, I knew my family was still going to eat differently from me. Because I was going to eat a lot of turkey breast, you know, 35-calorie wheat bread, you know, stuff like that. And I wasn't going to make them eat what I eat because a lot of people will be like, "Well, I can't lose weight because I still have to cook this for my kids or for my husband," you know, and
Mhm.
that's just not a good enough reason. I'm sorry.
You hear
Be
that all the time.
Mm-mm. I got rid of the junk food drawer in our kitchen. That was out. That was out. And I had my cabinet with my stuff. That way, I didn't get tempted if I saw the kids' food, you know,
Okay.
or and Jeremy was just really supportive, you know. And so I would cook for them, and I would eat my lean cuisine or my turkey sandwiches, and you know, so I stayed focused on that. But now for exercising, I basically did it on my own because that's I get in the zone. I don't work out with people very often. I work out with you. It's different. But or Andrew would my son would sometimes go running with me. And I remember my daughter went running with me a few times. But basically I was a solo act when it came to working out, you know. Sometimes I worked out with Jeremy down in the gym. But yeah, I had to just like motivate myself. And I tell you, what was motivating me was seeing small changes in myself. I remember just like I was walking through work and I was just feeling right here in my collarbone. I was like, "Oh my God, what is that? What is that? It feels weird." And I was
A
like,
bone.
"That's my collarbone and my chest bone." I was like, "Oh my gosh, awesome. I can see that and feel it, you
I
know."
call those
Oh,
non-scale victories. That's what I call
exactly.
those.
So
Those are
each
awesome.
time, yeah, and that's what keeps you going. And I remember being like, could cross my legs and hold my
Oh
legs
yeah.
crossed for a long time. I'd be like, oh my God, or feeling my hip. cheekbones, or just going down in sizes, like down, 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 down. And I went through a lot of clothes as I lost weight, and I figured out a way to get around that without spending a lot of money. I found a couple of consignment stores in Lexington, which are just great. One's Clothes
Oh, okay.
Mentor in Lexington, another one's I think it's Sassy Fox and Stephen Lawrence Limited. I went to those places and I would get my clothes. Didn't have to spend much, and they were still really stylish. So I wasn't just wearing t-shirts and yoga pants or shorts. I could still look cute as I lost weight, and then I wasn't out of much
Without
money.
breaking the bank. Yeah, that's good.
Exactly. So yeah, just
That's
little
good.
milestones. Yeah, it was just, or somebody being like, I remember I went to a friend's house to pick up her kids that was friends with my kids. And one of the kids I hadn't seen him in months, maybe 6, 7 months, if that. And I remember him asking Penny, like, your mom looks so different. Like, why does she look so different?
Mm-hmm.
Or I'd get texts from my son, like, Mom, I'm so proud of you. You know, it's just
Aw.
those texts and just compliments. And I ran into some people once, and they were like, Karyl, are you okay? Are you sick? They thought I was sick because I lost so much weight.
Oh,
And I'm like, I
wow.
didn't lose
Well,
so
you had
much
to set
weight.
them straight.
Yeah, I didn't have like hollow cheeks or anything like that. I just was smaller. And she didn't say it in the way of, she really did kind of act concerned, but a little bitchy too. Because this woman, I didn't like her anyway. So I could tell she's, I don't know, just hating on me.
Yeah.
Like the only way I could possibly ever lose weight in my life was to be sick with something. Like, thank you. No.
Wow.
But no, I had a lot of, support. So
Good.
I
So I have
ramble.
a
I'm
question
sorry.
to ask you.
Okay.
No, you're doing great. So like strangers. I'm going with the stranger focus. Do you get treated better or worse being the skinnier version of yourself by
Well,
strangers and people? How did you notice a change in that part of your life?
absolutely. 1,000%. And that's just how the world is. This is how society is. It is. That's why, like, it does matter. If you want to be treated, and it's sad. It's sad that you have to look your best in order to be treated a certain way, you know? And I think it's why my
Yeah.
mom always taught me, like, try to look your best. You'll feel better, first of all. Like, don't leave the house with, like, looking like you just rolled out of bed. At least look like you care about yourself. And that is really sad that people do treat you on your appearance, whether you're big,
Mhm.
little, pretty, ugly, whatever. It shouldn't matter how you look.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely got treated differently, like majorly. Like it was, I can
Like,
see
did it upset
Amazon
you?
coming.
Like, did it make you mad though?
A
Like,
little bit. A little bit, because I remember somebody telling me once, like, "Oh yeah, you're very attractive, but if you were still overweight, you wouldn't be attracted. I wouldn't have been attracted to you at all." And I'm like, "Oh,
wow.
thank you." Yeah, I'd have people
Yeah,
say
they could
stuff
have
like
left that
that.
last part out.
Yeah,
That was just rude.
yeah.
Okay, well, I want to show our audience something that I'm super proud of. When I found this out about my friend, I was so excited when she shared it with me. So
Oh
I
my
want to share it with you guys.
gosh.
I'm so excited. So, she's lost a lot of weight, and I don't know if you guys have heard of let's say People magazine. Yes, my friend. See, she's so excited about it. Oh, and we got our fur baby. Hi, Luther.
I know
My
he's the
friend.
Amazon delivery guy out there.
He's
Okay,
going to
go
try to save your life. Yeah, you got to hold him.
ahead.
My friend, my friend, my bestie was on the cover of People magazine, and I have one of the magazines she gave me, so I'm going to show it right now. Look, there she is. This is her. Look
That's
at her.
me. That's me.
Freaking
That's me
gorgeous girl. And
running.
look, that's her before picture. There's one of your befores.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I remember thinking I looked really good in that picture, actually, or feeling like I looked good that day.
You're still beautiful no matter what. Look at that smile. I love it.
I did like
But
my
yes,
hair.
she made it to the cover of People magazine. Look at this, you guys. So you definitely have to walk us through how in the world you even like got picked for this and how it happened and when this was. It says July 25th, 2016 is the
I
version of
know.
the magazine, but
2016. Almost
how
eight
did
years
that
ago.
happen?
That's crazy. Okay.
So
Well, I
proud
got
of you.
approached. Well, People Magazine will usually reach out to Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, just different places to try to get some recommendations on, people with weight loss stories or just different things. Don't have to be weight loss. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was my group leader, um, my Weight Watchers leader. Sorry, the Amazon guy is almost
It's
gone.
okay. The Amazon guy almost killed her, but Luther saved her life. That's just what happened just now. Just so you know.
Well, my group leader, Cindy, and she's amazing. And I tell you too, was going to Luther. I was going to Weight Watchers every Tuesday morning for years. And I just fell in love with the women that was there. Oh my God, the support system and that. It was just so much fun. Luther, sorry. Big bad delivery guy. Stop. Stop. And anyway, Cindy was great. She approached me. She said, Karyl, People Magazine, they reached out to us and want to know if we had any, anybody we wanted to maybe nominate or suggest to be in their magazine, their weight loss issue. They do like a weight loss issue, I think a couple of times a year. I could be wrong about that. And they're like, we were wondering if you want to submit, your before and after photos and your story. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And then she also
You
told me
hesitated?
I did because, it's like, I hate to say it, it's like I was proud of myself that I lost the weight, but at the same time, I was so embarrassed that I had allowed myself to get so unhealthy. It was
Oh,
just embarrassing. Do I really want to, share my story? Because I was just so embarrassed. And
okay.
then to top it off, she said, and I think it's a swimsuit issue. I was like, oh my God.
Because you're like, oh Lord,
Mm.
I have to be in a swimsuit.
I was like, what? I was like, oh, I don't know about this. So I had to really think on it. I had to think hard on it. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'll go ahead and submit it, but they're not going to contact me. So I did it. I went and did what she asked me to do. And I remember sitting at home eating lunch. And I got the phone call from People Magazine asking, if I was still interested in doing the magazine. I was like, I was so excited. I lost my appetite. I was excited, but I was also mortified. Like, holy cow, this means I'm going to have to be in a swimsuit and,
That's why you
go
lost your
out.
appetite.
Yeah, because I'm like, even though I lost weight, I still had some flaws, man. Like, had some flaws. And I was like, then I'm like, we'll bring you up to the Hamptons, Montauk specifically, and for a few days. And there's some other girls that got to go to. One was from Jenny Craig, another one, a few other ones was just kind of, I'm not sure how they did it, micro something and lost weight. And then another lady got into physical fitness. Like she was what do you call it? Physique, not a bodybuilder, but like the physique one where you're not so huge. But so they called me up and I was like, sure, we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it. And I was so nervous.
And
But I met
and
so
like
many
so
wonderful people.
and how long did it take to do the shoot and how many days were you out there? And how soon after you did all that did it come out in the magazine? Like how many like what kind of time frame was it? Months? Was it
Me
weeks?
think. I might have went in May. I might have to check on that. I might have went in May. I flew into New York. They had a driver and everything standing there at the airport with my name on a sign. I was like, oh my
Oh,
God, I feel like I'm in a movie.
awesome.
And this guy was like Russian. He was Russian. And he was a
You got that
nice
VIP
guy.
treatment.
He was a nice guy, but when we got up into Montauk, I mean, he was could not find. I stayed at the Hampton Maid, a really nice hotel. It was more like not exactly cabins, but chalets or something. I don't know. Very, very cute. But he was having a hard time finding it and he was cussing. And I was just like, oh my God, in Russian. I was like, oh my God, he's getting so ticked off. And but anyway, I ended up making it there, and I think I was there for about 2 or 3 days. I think it was a couple of 2 or 3 days. It wasn't very long. I think. Gosh, it's just so hard to remember. It's so hard to remember.
And
I remember the
they
excitement.
interviewed you and you got to take
hmm
pictures.
They interviewed me while I was there. We were actually staying at a beach house right beside Bernie Madoff's old house. And then Jack Nicholson's house was a little bit on down the beach. It wasn't, I don't think it was very big, but it was cute. But yeah, we did some photographs and everything there. I had to do a couple of different swimsuits, 3 maybe, and
Oh, okay.
got
So
my
that wasn't
hair
the
and
only
makeup
one, the one that made the
done.
cover.
No, I think I should have all 3 of them in that magazine. One in
Oh, I
blue,
gotta
one
find it.
in peachy orange, and one in that pink.
Okay.
And I wasn't sure
I'll
about that
find it
pink one because it
while
like
you're
was low
talking.
cut, and I was like, like I don't know about this. And that's the one they put on the cover. But I remember I was on the beach and I'm like, pretend to run in slow motion. I was like, hey. And then they had leaf blowers making my hair like.
Oh, cool. That's how your
So
hair
that
was
picture is
blowing.
of, yeah, that picture of me is fake running with leaf blowers at me. It was so
Fake running,
funny.
fake
Fake
news,
running.
fake news. No.
Everybody
I'm
was
trying to
wonderful
find the other
there.
pictures.
I'm still in contact with like the lady who did my makeup and the photographer.
Oh,
And I'm
wow.
trying
All
to
these
think
years
a
later?
couple of people. Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's cool.
Very, very nice people. They made it so wonderful. Not just the girls who did the magazine with me, but oh my gosh, everybody was so incredibly
I
nice.
found the
There I
blue one.
am. There's the blue
There's the blue
one.
one. And what's the
There's
other
the.
color?
I think it should be the one in
Pink,
peach,
blue.
or what would you
Oh,
call
there's
that
a
color?
peach.
It looks
Okay, I'll
very
find it.
1940s or 50s bathing suit or bikini.
Oh, I found it. Whatever color this is. Here.
Yeah, I don't know what color that is.
Look at how cute you look. You look so cute.
I'm telling
You
you
look so
that
happy. I love it.
I was so nervous, but they made me feel well, they were talking to me, making me laugh, so it really helped. Really helped. That was a fun day. Very nerve-wracking day, but fun.
You photograph really, really well, by the way.
Uh
You're cute,
Nobody
girl.
likes pictures of themselves.
We're all just too hard on ourselves. We're the victims of the society in which we live.
Ah, I believe
But
it.
something else that I'm really proud of, that when I first met you and I stumbled upon this fact about you. I was really shocking because I just had never met anyone that actually had done this before. But um, I know you said that part of the reason that you've been successful is because of your exercise. And one of the things that I learned about you that I was shocked about was that you actually are a runner, but not just like, let's go run a mile. Like she runs, shall I say, marathons. And for those of you that don't know, a marathon is 26.2 miles. So how in the world did you get the idea to run a marathon? And how can a human body do that? How do you do that?
Well, I started off doing walk running, mainly just to lose weight. I would put that sweatsuit on. I'd go to the dog park. There was a track around it, and I would sweat, sweat, sweat. So I just ran. And then I went to a Weight Watchers meeting, and there was a lady there, a guest speaker, and she was showing us her medals and that she was doing half marathons. I'm not sure she did a full marathon at that point. Maybe I think she did. And I was just like, oh, she's actually got something tangible in her hand to show something that she's done, an accomplishment. I was like, oh, and I was like, and I kind of was getting to the point where I was running. Like I said, I started walk running, and before I knew it, I was just running. Before I knew it. And so I was like, so I started doing 5Ks, and every time I would I would always pick out different 5Ks to do. That way, I knew I had to be good, train for it. I had a reason to keep working out because I had a 5K coming up. And then I went to 10K. And then I went to half marathon. I do that Iron Horse half marathon in midway, and
So
it's
wait, a
just
5K
beautiful.
is 3.2 miles. Then a 10K
3.1,
is
3.2.
6.4,
Uh-huh.
or what, somewhere around there. And then a
Gosh,
half marathon is
math.
13 miles. So you went
Yep.
from 3 to 6 to 13.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, let me tell you, the crazy thing is, let's got this crazy story. I knew I had that half marathon coming up, and I'm like, can I really do it? I was standing at work, like, I was a dog groomer at the time, standing on my feet all day, and I'm like, I wonder how far it is from my house to work. So I called Jeremy up. I said, Jeremy, I'm going to leave my car at work. I'm running home. I ran all the way to my house. It was barely over 13 miles. Jeremy's like, you were on your feet all day. And I ran all the way back to my house. We had to go back and pick up my car. But I just needed to see, can I do it? Can I actually do this? And I tell you, I could my legs felt really weird. That might have been the first time I felt, what is it, that lactic acid that builds up. Like, oh my God, I felt like my legs were going to fall off, because I did not hydrate the way I should have before I went and ran 13 miles on a whim. But now that I could see it, I'm like, okay, I can see that I can do it. And I was prepared. I trained really hard. And then I always wanted to do a full marathon. So I've been using this Nike Run Club app since 2011. Every mile I've ever ran is on this app. I can go way back. It's like my journal. And there are programs on there that you can use to like train for 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, full marathons, and on and on and on. So I used that app and it prepared. I ate right. I exercised the way I should. I was very, very prepared for 26 miles. And I remember being like, this is really weird. Okay. This was the first full marathon. It's called Horse Capital. Is it Horse Capital? Not maybe of the world. It was here in Lexington, but you was running through like horse farms and stuff like that. And for some reason, I knew it was 26 miles. But then for some reason, my brain was like 21 miles, 21 miles, it's 21 miles. And this course is nothing but hills. And these people made signs to taunt you, like, oh, you thought this was going to be a flat course, or oh, you thought you're only going to have a couple of hills. It was just like taunting you. It was just hills on top of hills. And I didn't do a lot of hill training. But I remember being like, oh, 18 miles. I only have like a couple more to go. And then when I get to mile 20, it says you only have 6 more. I was like,
And
effort.
you
For
thought,
some reason, I forgot in that moment that it's 26, not
I would have
21.
cried.
And I
I
was
would
just
have
like,
cried.
oh, I tell you, my hips were hurting toward the end, but I did pretty good. I did pretty good at that one. But my last one that I did not prep for it the way I should have. But I remember it's the only time I've ever was nervous before a race was when I went to Cincinnati doing the Flying Pig. And the night before, I'm like, can I do this? Because I did not train properly, and I knew it. It's the only time I was doubting myself ever in a race. I was like, and I just couldn't sleep that night either. I couldn't sleep. I was just like, oh, I'm just having a really hard time with this.
You were probably dreaming about flying pigs. That's a weird
Flying
name.
pigs. Oh, that was a fun course though. They had bacon stations on the course. I could stop and get bacon.
That sounds
You know,
like my kind of station. I love bacon. Shout
it
out
was
to bacon.
wonderful. It was wonderful. That was a good marathon. Lots of hills though. That's another hilly one. But that one was a rough one. That one I struggled, but I just kept pushing on. Every mile that I'd hit, I'd text Jeremy. I made it to mile 1, mile 2, mile 3. I'd text him each time. Like I
How
made
much
it.
of that do you walk? Like people
Nah,
walk, right? A little
very,
bit?
very little. I walked very little. I
Oh.
had to a few times because my hip, I'd have to my hip was just killing me. But it's
Hmm.
harder to stop and then run again. But, there is a walk run method, though, by Jeff Galloway, this Olympian. I've met him a couple of times. He's great. Actually ran a half marathon with him once or a couple of times. And this walk run method, man, I see people using it and they are passing me up. That's something I'm like, I really need to look into. It'd probably be better on my
It's like
joints too.
interval training, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like
And I'm like,
interval
hey, I
training
passed them
sort of.
at miles back. How are they passing me up now?
Wow.
But it's called the walk run method. Jeff Galloway,
Okay.
very nice man. He puts on races, I think down around Georgia, somewhere, Atlanta. I can't remember. He's a nice guy.
Cool.
But I was just like, I was struggling. And each mile I was like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. At one point, when I got to mile, I think it probably was mile 20. No, 21. I was passing people, throwing up, had to be taken off the course by ambulance. I'm like, oh man, you make it to mile 21 and you have to quit.
And then you
I'm
have to
like, that's not going to
quit.
be me. No. I'm like, hell no. Like, no, that's not going to be me. I worked too hard.
You didn't make
You
it
make it
this
that
far. Be
far.
quitting now.
I got
Heck
to
no.
you're right. And I got to mile 24, maybe 25. I was running so slow at that point. The horse, the officer on the horse was going faster than me. He was just like trotting around. Then he looked over at me like, are you okay? I was like, I'm good. And I was smiling. I'm like, I'm good. That's how bad I looked. He was like, are you okay? Do you need any help? I'm like, I got it. I got it. I'm telling you, I couldn't see that finish line fast enough. Oh my God. And I was so
Made it.
sore for days. I was sore for days after that. I could barely move because my other races, half marathons, full marathons, I was up feeling just fine the next day. This one, I did not train properly and my body suffered. And it took me a long time mentally to want to do another one because all I could remember is the pain that I went through.
Yeah.
So I am going to do another one. I'm hoping to do one this coming fall, but I want to train for it correctly. I wanted to do the
That's what I was
Flying
going to
Pig
ask
again
you.
this year, but
Okay.
to be honest with you, I haven't trained appropriately and I won't put my body through that. I could have really done some
Right.
damage.
Yeah.
So I will
Wow.
do one this fall for sure. I
Nice.
probably will
So it's been
do.
several. Do what?
I'm
You'll
just trying
probably
to
do
think which one
what?
I
Which
do.
one?
I don't know. I
I want you.
started
I want
Iron
you to do
Horse,
the New
but
York Marathon. The New
yeah,
York
I had to raise
Marathon.
some money. I can't qualify for that. I'm not fast enough, so I
Yeah,
have to
you
like
can.
raise some money and get in it. Raise some money for a good cause, get in it.
Yeah.
I do want to do that. That
Well,
is
when
one of
you
my
do that
dreams.
one, I am going to be at the finish line when you do that one. I will be
Like,
there cheering you on,
you can do it,
clapping you across
Karyl.
that line.
Hopefully, they'll just be in better shape. I gotta tell you though, when I do races, my body's is in the best shape ever. I'm in the best
Mm,
shape. If I don't plan to do my races, I'm not in the best shape. So this summer, I
mm.
actually plan on doing a lot more 5Ks, just to kind of 5Ks, maybe a couple of tens, and that's the only way I can like really stay super fit if I have something I'm training for. But that's how
And
I
that
got
was my
started.
last question is how do
I'm
you
so sorry.
maintain your weight loss? Like, and that's it. Like, it sounds like you
Uh,
you set yourself up for these races where you have to get fit and that helps you stay fit and get fit. So that's one of the ways. What else do you do to maintain your weight loss? Like, how do you hold yourself accountable?
uh, I'm telling you,
And what do you do
Jennifer.
when you gain weight?
Oh Lord. Well, I know you can relate to this, but I think losing weight was easier than maintaining. Because losing weight, you're only doing it for a certain period of time. Maintaining, it's the rest of your life. And I never really realized, like, once I got there, I was like, oh my God, okay, what do I have to do to stay here? Now, I do fluctuate some. I do, because I'm like, life's too short. I want to have a beer, a bourbon, a pizza, a taco, like I'm not going to always eat turkey sandwiches all the time, you know. But to maintain, honestly, I know a lot of people hate the scale. And I do know sometimes the scale can like not be the best judge because you can lose inches and not really weight, you know? And gosh, I really do wish I had journaled all the inches I lost. I didn't start journaling that until I had already lost like 40 or 50 pounds. And then I had a friend that would measure me. But my scale is that friend who will not BS you. It will tell you the truth. It will tell you if your butt's fat. Hey, you
Yeah,
got a big
it'll
butt. You
tell
need to
you.
do something about it. And it's like I dread getting on the scale all the time, but I'm like, but it keeps me accountable. It does. Like if I see some weight packing on, I know to get it right back off. And that's either elliptical, doing treadmill, just, I really like cardio a whole lot. And I'm trying to do more strength training now to kind of firm. But yeah,
Yeah.
the scale is the key. And then when I see weight come on, I watch my portions again and exercise. It's just very basic, just cutting back on some things. But I think my biggest problem right now is having, a couple of scotches or bourbons a week. That's like, I'll save up just so I
A
can
lot of
have.
calories in liquor.
I know. And it's hard to get your body rid of it. But I really
Yeah.
enjoy having a couple of drinks with Jeremy, so like I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll cut back this week so I can have a couple of drinks or, wine. I'm not really a big wine drinker, because so many calories in it. And honestly, I could drink a bottle and barely feel anything, because I'm used to drinking
Wow.
something heavier. So, but yeah, the scale's my friend.
That's good. Yeah, nobody likes to weigh themselves, but yeah, the scale, I have
Yeah.
to agree with you on that. The scale's definitely the way to go. It'll tell you the truth. It won't lie to you. Those stretchy yoga pants will lie. They'll lie for months, but they'll still fit.
I
But that
know.
scale, it will
I
tell you.
know. I know, girl.
So I have one last question that I want to ask you. It's basically just getting your feedback for our audience, especially those that are struggling right now, that are back where you used to be 130 pounds ago, just feeling hopeless, feeling sad, feeling like they're never going to be able to do it. What advice can you give to our audience who's in that position right now on what they can do today to make a change in their life to get towards, to their best self, their best physical self?
You're going to have to want it really badly. And not just want it, but you're going to have to make it happen. You can keep wishing for things to change, but it's going to take, you actually doing something. Because I have people that would reach out to me constantly. Karyl, what do I need to do this? How can I do this? How can I lose weight? How can I get started in running or whatever? And I would always give advice over and over and over again. You can take it or not. It's okay. But hardly anybody ever took my advice because I think they was disappointed when I didn't have that magic pill to tell them about. Like they were hoping
Mhm.
I had a quick fix. And then when I didn't, they never really took my advice. So, and I love like helping people. I won't ever stop giving advice as long as somebody will listen, you know. But you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And I know life can be hard. I know life can be hard. I know depression can play a big factor in your motivation to want to eat right and lose weight. I get it. I get it. I've been there. But just like self-care, self-love, love yourself to want the best for yourself. Because I'm telling you, nothing tastes as good as being skinny. You know what I mean? I don't mean like in a vain way.
As
But you have put so much work into becoming healthy. Maybe that's why I should say nothing tastes as good as being healthy. You can't
You know
compare
what they
it.
taught me in Weight Watchers when I was on it? Nothing tastes as good as thin feels. I remember reading that on the
Thin.
board at Weight
I like
Watchers.
thin
That must be where that's
better or
from.
healthy better. It must be. It must be. But yeah, I mean, I can tell you, you can eat that chocolate pudding cup. You'll feel good for a minute, but then you're gonna be mad at yourself afterward. Like it's
Yeah.
not worth it. One day at a time, and just love yourself. And if you got other problems going on that you think it's only because of your weight, you might really need to talk with somebody because sometimes losing the weight's not going to fix everything magically like you think. You know, try to love
Mhm.
yourself. Weight, how you look really is not going to truly make you happy in life.
Yeah.
That can't be
That's good
the
advice.
only thing that can make people happy. Because I tell you, I've been
Right.
thin and unhappy. So, but not because I was thin. It's
Yeah.
just I let other factors happen. So that,
Yeah. Well,
and then also
this
I
is
think
great.
I forgot to tell you too. I think I told you I was on People's List, ABC's People's List.
I don't remember. What is that? What is People's List?
It had, oh my God, I'm trying to think of is it Jerry O'Connell? I'm trying to think, and Susan Park was the host of it. I was on my way going down for a family vacation in Florida, and they called me and they're like, "Karyl, can you fly out to New York and do this show on ABC for us called People's List?" I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
I'm headed down to Siesta Key right now." They're like, "Oh," they're like. Is there any way you can like take a day or two and just fly up? So I left Siesta Key for a couple of days and went to New York, and I stayed in the Empire Hotel. So if you watched Gossip
mm,
Girl at all, I stayed in that hotel. It was awesome. They set me up really nice, but they had me like running through Central Park and doing. It was all day filming for like 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
on TV.
I was so
Sounds
tired.
about right.
Had me running. But I met some wonderful people there too. But there's some I don't know if that show's still on or not, but they voted me or people voted me or whatever as number one inspiring person that week or something. But
Oh, nice.
I was like, sure, another trip to New York. That made like 3 times I was in New York like within a year. I was like, oh
Oh, sweet.
heck yeah. And then
Nice.
I just remember being like, man, if I can lose weight, anybody can lose weight. If a poor girl from Eastern Kentucky can go places, anybody can. Because I would have never dreamt I'd go some of the places I've went. And even since
Wow.
all that people's stuff and all that, I've went to some amazing places. You know, I love to travel. Me and Jeremy have been to some amazing places, and I'm always thinking my lucky stars. Like, my God, how lucky am I to be able to go to some of these places? You know,
Yeah.
because
Sweet.
and I think it's what I always tell everybody. It doesn't matter what you were born into. You know, it's what you make of your life and try to have a positive outlook on it. 'Cause I never did think in my life things were unattainable. I just never really thought about it. I just took it truly one day at a time. I was happy with anything good that came in my life. I was very thankful for it, you know. So
That's a way to be.
you got to be positive. Be positive, be happy, have fun. Have fun. That's how I live my life now. I just want to have
Yeah.
fun. So that's
That's awesome.
it.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I know it blessed some
Yay.
people.
I
And
hope
next
so.
on our next podcast, we will be uh, turning the tables, and she'll be asking me the
Yeah.
questions about my
Woohoo.
weight loss. So
Yeah. This
we
time I
will
get to
see
be
you guys
Oprah.
next time. Yeah, you get
Okay.
to be Oprah. We'll get you the Oprah lighting.
Okay. We'll see you guys later.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.